I'm a 33-year-old woman, and my older sister Julissa is 36. We grew up in the same two-story brick house in a quiet suburb, raised by parents who didn't fight and didn't yell, but also didn't always show warmth. Our mom passed away from cancer when I was in my early 20s. After that, it was just Dad, Julissa, and me for a while, until Julissa moved to Florida. Back then, I didn't blame her. She was always the one with the big city energy, the one who got restless if she had to sit in one place too long. She started doing real estate and posted a lot about selling beach houses, taking client meetings in fancy cafes, and her solo self-care weekends in different cities. Meanwhile, I stayed here in town. I've been working as a medical billing coordinator for over a decade now. I rent a small duplex 15 minutes away from the nursing home where our dad lives. He wasn't always in a nursing home. That started about 3 years ago. He fell twice in 1 month and the doctors started throwing around words like early cognitive decline. At first, I took him to appointments, picked up prescriptions, helped him with groceries and his mail. But his memory got worse, and there were days he'd leave the stove on or forget where he put the keys. The tipping point was when he wandered out of the house barefoot at 2 a.m. I found out because a neighbor called me. After that, I started the paperwork for full-time care. Dad had decent savings. Mom was smart with money, and he had a pension from his years as a city engineer. But that only lasted a year in the facility. After that, I had to start covering a $600 monthly supplement. I never asked Julissa to split it 50/50. I just sent her the breakdown once a month, and in the beginning, she used to call and say thank you. That eventually turned into a thumbs up emoji. And then silence. Nursing home updates go to both of us, Julissa and me, but she stopped replying to those too. She sent 1 box of cookies last Christmas with a card that said "Miss you, Dad." She visited once in the last 18 months. She spent most of that visit talking to the staff about how much she admired the facility's architecture and how she might invest in something like this back in Florida. I watched her scroll through pictures of new property listings on her phone while Dad sat quietly beside her, asking every few minutes what day it was. I never said anything to anyone in the family about how little she was involved. It wasn't worth the drama. Most of them followed Julissa on social media and saw her posting selfies with captions like "family first" and "caring from afar." She'd spent years painting me as the distant one, always too busy, always private. I didn't realize how deeply that framing had stuck until it turned everyone's silence into suspicion. I let them believe that. I didn't care what they thought, as long as Dad was taken care of. Then, 2 weeks before Christmas, things shifted. I started getting these weird texts from cousins and uncles. Not angry, just cold. One cousin wrote, "We didn't realize you'd stopped visiting your dad." Another said, "Wish someone had told us things were going so badly." At first, I thought they were mixed up. I called my cousin Della, who's hosting Christmas this year, and asked if something was going on. She hesitated for a second, then said, "Julissa told us you basically dumped your dad at the facility and haven't seen him in months. So that you're too busy to care anymore?" I stood in my kitchen with that phone pressed to my ear, frozen. I couldn't even form words. Della added, "I didn't believe it at first. But I mean, she sounded really upset." I hung up and tried to text Julissa. I just asked her why she'd say something like that. She replied almost immediately. No greeting, no explanation. Just, "You made your choices. I've made peace with it." That was it. I scrolled through years of messages between us, trying to see if I'd missed something. But all I could think about was Dad. I'd been with him last week. I brought him his favorite muffins from that bakery near my office. I fixed the zipper on his jacket. I'd sat with him for 2 hours while he fell asleep watching reruns. And now half our family thought I had abandoned him. I didn't